I've had a number of people lately talk to me about storing water, and water is the most important thing as far as for emergency preparedness. As far as storing, I would store water. If I didn't have access to water, I would store water before I stored any food, certainly any gold or silver, whatever. This is something I've shown before several years ago, but this is a Berkey Light. We bought the one with the light kit in it. It's got an LED base down here on it that has it's got a base on it that has LED lights in it. We have used this and we run it all night, every night for years, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea. We use it as a night light at night. We just turn it on and go to bed. So it's real pretty when it's dripping water down, when it's filtering water. As it drips down, it splashes and kind of when the lights are on, kind of coats the clear. Since this one is clear, you can see the splash and see the water running down the side. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty neat looking. But this is not how you store water. This is how you purify water, and I absolutely recommend a Berkey, whether it's a Berkey Light or they've got the Royal, and they've got a bunch of different kinds. And I will link below the video to this one, the Berkey Light, with and without the light kit, and also the other ones. I have I forget which one it is, the biggest one, a Royal, I think, or something. I'll link to it also. But that is not how you store water. One of the best ways to store water is that right there, which is quite empty. If you are prone to drinking soda from a 2-liter bottle, 3-liter bottle, it's got a much wider lid on it. The best way to store water, the cheapest way you're ever going to store water, is to finish this off, rinse it out real good, fill it back up with water, and put a cap on it. Now, if you have got well water, you're going to want to put a little bit of Purex in it, probably bleach in it. I would say a half a cap full. Just take the cap off and put just a few drops is enough, but even a half cap full is probably too much. But just 2 or 3 drops of bleach in it. Put it back on. You might want to shake it up a little bit, and you're done. That will store for years. Water can become a little off tasting, but it's not going to really spoil, especially if you've got something in there. The reason I say if you got well water, if you've got well water, to use some type of bleach product. If you have city water, I would imagine that you already have either chlorine in it, or there's something you're using now instead of chlorine that most places are using instead of chlorine, and so it's probably redundant to put any bleach or anything in it. But that is the best way to store water. You can put them under your bed. Find a place that they'll lay down like that, and you can stack 2 or 3 and just do a pyramid with them. But store some water. If you don't have access to water, if you don't have a well, if you don't have a creek running behind the house, if you got a creek running behind your house, you need that, because that will filter out lake water, creek water, just about anything. Those are used all over the world by missionaries, and that you just can't. Your water's got to be pure. You can't just go drink out of a creek. Most everybody knows that. But that will filter just about anything. I think it's 99.99% of bacteria and such. You can buy another filter for it that filters out fluoride if you want to do that. And but anyway, if you got access to water but it's not clean water, then you need that. If you don't have access to water, if you in an emergency, if you don't think you're going to have access to water, that is the best way in the world to store water for an emergency. Easiest, quickest way. It's free. If you don't drink these, somebody you know does. Just tell them to save you some bottles and save you some water. Don't save 7-Up. Save water. Okay? and or get you a Berkey of some kind. Highly recommend the Berkey. I'll put links to the Berkeys below. You don't need a link to that. You got access to those all the time. Okay, water is important. Water is key. Water is number one. Number one as far as storage goes. You can't live long without it. We'll go.